Hi everyone, I'm Hui Su from Taiwan. I have been here for 15 months. I came here because of marriage, and I was a web designer in Taiwan, and now I am a student and a volunteer in International House. I'm going to talk to you today about the logo design of International House. In today's presentation, I will share with you the design process. We started from the research, then formed ideas, took a vote to refine the design. Once we start this project, we send out the survey to all the community members to gather their thought on International House, because we don't want to jump on the design too fast without having a comprehensive knowledge of what people expect. So on the survey, we ask people what best describes what International House is. We had them select the words that represent the International House the most. So here are the top 3 words people have selected. They are warm, energetic, and unique. To interpret this, I came up with 2 concepts. Concept A, the warm and energetic feeling is from the communication that happens in the house. People come here from all over the world, talking and learning from each other, creating this warm space for us who are far from home. We join events and classes. We interact with each other nonstop. We have built a strong, energetic connections. All of these make International House so unique. We cannot find another place like this. So concept B is a more literal design. I took the words international and house and put them together. We brought these 2 concepts to the Strategic Planning Committee, which decided to let everyone in International House vote on. I would like to thank Bob, Dottie, Gillian, Mira, Manning, and Alex for giving me advice and making this happen. And here are the voting results. We had 131 votes in total. Logo A won with 81 votes. At this point, we had the direction to go in. I could start refining the design. We tried a lot of colors, shapes, and fonts during the refining process. We had a design meeting every 2 weeks. I appreciate all the great advice and feedbacks from Alex, Manning, Linda, and John along the way. So here comes our final logo. Thanks to everyone who have involved in the survey and voting. You all contribute to this logo. Here are the potential applications in the future, such as stationeries, clothes, or accessories. In the conclusion, I would like to express my appreciation to International House. It gave me a strong support after I moved to the United States. When I opened the door of International House, I also started a wonderful journey here. I met new friends, learned English from all the great teachers. I joined meditation class and book clubs. All this enriched my life and my soul. To be able to contribute my skill, it really means a lot to me. It keeps my confidence afloat during this challenging time in my career. In the meantime, I also built a warm, energetic, and unique relationship with International House. Thank you. Let me stop sharing.
Thank you, Hitsu.
Thank you.
We're so lucky that you're part of this community, and just an example of many of the other people that are. So thank you for all your work and what you've done. So next we're going to shift to the one thing that is happening right now for sure in the house is that residents are living here. So that's been the one constant in this crazy year. So we wanted to give the residents an opportunity to say hello. And actually any former residents are here, you can jump in as well, because I know there's at least one. So we'll start with any of the residents and maybe start with Ozan. And then any other residents can jump in and just introduce yourselves and say hello.
Hello. Yeah, okay.
I hope you can hear me. I had a problem with my computer, so I have to borrow John's. My name is Ozan. I've been living in the International House for 2 years. I'm a postdoc at the Applied Math Department. And if you don't know what a postdoc is, it's defined as an irregular faculty by Brown. So we are people with PhDs, mostly working towards our tenure track positions. So I've been at the Applied Math Department for around 3 years. And plus 2 years has been in the International House. So Alex and John wanted me to say good things about them. Actually give you an update about living in the house. So basically, as a postdoc, we are rather lonely, at least the mathematicians and the applied mathematicians, because we don't really connect with people. But living here is just gives you the opportunity, especially in the pandemic times. I can just come down here, have a little chat with John or Alex, and then it really makes me feel connected. And on top of that, all the nice people I met in the International House, actually, they're the only connection I have to the community, the large community here. So that's basically it. So thank you.
Great, thanks Ozan.
Thank you.
And Jiayu or Bing Yang or Shuai or Mira, please jump in and you could say a quick hello if you'd like to.
Yeah, I can go. So, hello everyone, my name is Bing Yang. I got my undergraduate degree from Minnesota. My major was like systems engineering. Right now, I'm doing a program major at Brown for my master degree. Like all my class is online right now. So I will give like the International House is a great community for international students. So I will give a 10 out of 10 score to International House. Thank you.
Thanks, Bing Yang. Sorry, I'm exploring the spotlighting feature, so I apologize if your view is jumping all over. So so great. Okay. Shuai, you want to go next?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Shuai. I was a Brown student in the chemical engineering. I have been in the International House for about 2 years, and the International House is an extremely wonderful place for me, not only living here, but the support from Alex, John, and Linda. That's a very big, important thing for me and the international students, especially during the pandemic. And I'm so grateful being able to living in the International House and having the wonderful community in Rhode Island. I'm also very excited to see Mira on this meeting. We haven't seen for each other for a very long time. So I'm really grateful for this meeting, annual meeting. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Shuai.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Haibing Liu, come from Shanghai, China. I'm a retired banker from the Pudong Development Bank, but now I still work for the international company located in Singapore. And I have an international family because my wife and daughter are Americans. American citizen. I am a Chinese citizen. And I should say I should take this opportunity to express myself. And the International House for me is international family. Here you can make the different students and people from different countries. And we learn from each other and we help each other. And from them, you can know the different culture and the different stories. And it's very interesting. The second, the International House is a very good school. And there are many good teachers. And Susan, I should say, is excellent one among them. And his teaching method, very flexible and various. And for example, she took us to the Swan Point cemetery, to the tomb of the Hollywood Lovecraft, a very big writer. Before his tomb, we read his poem and reminisce his life. And she took us to the family orchard and pay visit to Indian museum. And she also taught us to write English poetry in the American Poetry Month.
And Leo, I have a few pictures.
Yeah.
Later in the presentation, I have a few pictures of some of the field trips from the class too. So,
also, I will close my soon. I will close my speech soon. And also, the International House is a spirit station. And from the continuous learning, we can realize a lot of truths of life. And one never too old to learn. And the life is a collection of the moments. And you have to take as many good ones as you can. And we here, I should say, we learned a lot, and I should, by this opportunity, I should deliver my heartfelt thanks to the teachers and the staffs in International House. And here we spend a hard time of the pandemic. I believe and hope, but anyway, the vacation is on the way. I hope this hard time will be over soon. And I hope and believe the International House will return its good time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
thank you, Leo. Mira or Jayu, do you want to say a quick hello on the resident perspective? Mira, go ahead.
Sure. Well, hi, everyone. It's really wonderful to see everyone. I'm a former house resident of the house, currently up in Maine, Brunswick, Maine, small town, and I really miss everyone. And those virtual events have been really wonderful, actually, as much as been said earlier, as much as I don't love Zoom, and I'm teaching here Russian and language and literature. So I'm not a huge fan of Zoom, but just being able to be connected, stay connected, just attend the events has been really nice, especially during the pandemic. And I can only say a lot of positive things about my time at the house. I had a lot of friends who lived in it before me, and it's just such a huge part of the community, and just such an incredible support system for international students and scholars. And keep on going strong.
Thanks, Mira. And lastly, our newest resident is Jayu, if you want to say a quick hello.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Jia Yue. I'm a new resident here. I'm currently a first-year PhD student at Brown in economics. It's been great for the past 3 months to live here, and good to see you all. Thanks.
Okay. Great. And I promise we didn't pay anybody to say anything. We just said, look, we see the residents all the time, and like there's this community and and nobody knows. The residents are like, what do you mean other people? Like Jayu's never seen anybody else at the International House except us. And some of you have never seen the residents. So anyway, thank you for all the kind words and good things. And we're glad you're all here. So we're gonna now move to, the idea is to highlight the different things that happen at International House. So up, we're gonna have the French class, the Italian class, and then the English language class. Students from the class are all gonna give a few highlights of what's been happening in the past year. So with that, we'll have Ruth and Barbara from the French Salon group.
Are you unmuting both of us? We should unmute.
I unmuted myself.
Okay, all right. So I'm saying hello. I'm Barbara Sturdivant, and I think I've been in the French class probably longer than anyone else. And I'm going to open up a screen share so if I can figure this out. So we really have, years ago when I first started in the class, there were probably 7 or 8 people. Recently, our numbers have been growing so much that we really can't even probably accommodate anymore. And we have a group that, for those of you who don't speak French, it's pretty clear that French in many ways is very close to English. So we have un groupe qui est divers, dynamique, sympa, intéressant et drôle. So our group is filled with both men and women, spanning a pretty good age group and some really, really interesting backgrounds, and a pretty good conversational level. So talking tonight with me is Ruth. Bonsoir, Ruth.
Bonsoir, Barbara.
So when we came from, once we greet each other, I wanted to introduce you to the rest of our class, and you can see that we have a full class, and at times we have fun. We have celebrated birthdays in this class, both virtually and long distance. One of the things I want you to notice is on the upper right-hand side, you'll see a lovely sun, and it should have been even bigger, and that's for Aida, who has managed to corral all of us and keep us in line and try and brings us lots of controversial subjects. And it's really due to her, the dynamics, that it's all been wonderful. So Ruth, I'm gonna let you, should I go and give everybody's names that are here, Alex, or not?
You can do a quick.
Okay, so we have Charlotte, Hugh, Mary, Barbara, Charles, Dottie, Aida, John, Ruth, Jamie, Margot, Ellen, Marie, Mimi, Pat, Ina, and Gillian. Ruth, tell us all about the people.
Well, you know, you can look at all the names, all the professions of these people, but it doesn't tell you what it means. It is such a great group of people because just everybody contributes pieces of who they were. We have our musician who brings music, our artist, our designer who brings cartoons. We get health advice from our healthcare people. And certainly Aida who cooks, and we have a cheese expert, so that it's just, everybody looks forward to it, and we get to share not just topics, but expertise. Oh, and I can't leave out the fact that we have a fisherman. We have several fishermen, and we've now learned how to say lots of fish names in French.
I didn't mean to go fast forward. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Well, beyond having obviously a very dynamic group with many talents, Aida makes sure that this conversation never gets dull, because she usually during the week sends us a series of articles. We have newspaper articles, we have excerpts from books, we have short videos, And so you can see the range of topics, everything from classical literature to, political headlines, old novels to read. So we include some grammar, some vocabulary, and then lots and lots of halting conversation. But I guess that sort of sums it up.
It does. I look forward to it every week.
Yes.
Great job. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Ruth. And special thank you to Aida for teaching the class for all these years, and for all the French Salon group who's here tonight. We're glad you're here, and thanks for representing the group. The next up is the Italian group with Janet, who's gonna say a few words.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janet Ridgway. I've been going to the Italian Conversation Group for about 2 years now. We meet once a week. Our leader and teacher is Detta D'Angelis. I see she's here this evening, I think. And Coppelia also is one of our students who is here. We're at a pretty advanced level speaking-wise, and so our main activity is just talking about the news of the day. And obviously we were meeting at the International House until March. Now we're doing all of our meetings by Zoom. Like the French group, we have also had a couple of, one very interesting thing that we did was Coppelia found a producer of olive oil and actually was able to order for some of the students some very good quality olive oil at very low prices, which we were able to get from her. And the main, I would say the background is very interesting. The ages are diverse. It's quite a mixed group, either people that have lived, studied, or worked abroad in Italy. Myself, my background is that I was in Italy for 7 years as an export manager for a company. That's the reason why I learned the language. And when I got home back in 2000, I was really looking for a place where I could use the language on a regular basis. And that's how I found when I moved to Rhode Island from Chicago a few years ago, I found actually by Google the International House and started going to the Italian group. And I've really enjoyed it a lot. It's been very helpful for me to keep up my Italian, and also just to meet some very interesting people. Unfortunately, the last few months, we've not been able to be at the International House, which I do miss seeing people in person, but we hope to be able to do that as soon as possible when it's safe again. Dad, if you have anything to add, or Coppelia, please go ahead.
So Detta added a kiss to the group.
Okay.
So thank you, Janet, and also a special just thank you to Detta for teaching the group with 2 real expert language teachers in Aida.
Yes.
Detta. And
yeah, Detta was the director of Italian studies for many years at Brown. She's very knowledgeable, and also we do some grammar. It's not our favorite thing to do, but I think it's very important to do, as well as just having fun speaking about topics that we're all interested in.
And I think that the high pay rates at International House, we recruited Detta away from Brown with six-figure salary. That is a volunteer teacher. All the teachers are volunteers. That was a little bit of a joke. And so thank you, Detta, and thank you, Aida, and thanks, Janet, for representing the group.
Okay.
So next up is, we're going to hear from the students in Susan's advanced class in a moment, but I'm going to do a quick presentation and give an overview of the year from my view. So I am up, so I'm going to share my screen here for a moment. I'll unspotlight Janet. This is hard acts to follow tonight here. So I don't know, especially after Huitsu. I don't know if these are very hard acts to follow here on Zoom, and Barbara and Janet and Ruth. So thank you, everyone. And here's a quick update from my seat. Sorry, I'm going to go back for a minute. So I started this way last year as well. And just to give a quick overview of, kind of who makes up the International House, we have all these different constituency groups. So you may find yourself in more than one of these bubbles. Some of you, I think, span as many as 6 of these different bubbles. And I just wanted to start by, again, saying thank you to everyone who volunteers, who teaches, who tutors, who serves on committees, particularly to people who support the International House financially and enable us to keep the lights on and keep the house, the heat on, and all those essential things. And maybe most of all to the international students and visitors and residents. It's really why we're here. So just wanted to start there. Here's one of the pictures that Leo was referring to. That's a field trip that the student group took to the museum. And here's a quick year in review of some of the numbers. So over 1,000 individual visitors walked through International House last year. Our year goes from July 1 to June 30th. So that's the time period we're sort of reporting on now. Over 70 countries represented, 164 members, over 50 volunteers, over 30 teachers and tutors, 9 different residents. We have 3 staff members, myself, John, and Linda. And we have an operating budget of approximately $250,000. So that's the quick overview by the numbers. As far as the regular activities, so, in the time long ago when we could do things in the house, we had regular English classes, the French, Italian, Spanish group, tutoring. We had a weekly potluck lunch, our monthly French club, and our monthly Rhode Island International Spouse and Partner group, all which happened over the course of this past year. And then, of course, we had our special events. So these were the events that occurred from last July until about around February. And so thank you to everyone involved in those events. Unfortunately, we will be doing, many of the classes continue to operate on Zoom. A lot of the events we're unable to do, like the Holiday Bazaar, we're not doing this year. But the Burns Dinner, we will be doing again this year. So thank you to everyone involved there. March 13th, it's 8 months ago, I guess, but that's when our whole world changed for all of us. So we closed quickly with COVID. We transitioned everything to Zoom. And actually the week of March 16th, if memory recalls, the 13th is a Friday. So it was a Friday the 13th, I believe. The week of the 16th, we trained 30 teachers and tutors on Zoom, got everyone transitioned. And by the week of the 23rd, we were operating on Zoom. And Zoom doesn't track individual data, but it aggregates everything. So we've had 362 Zoom meetings with that many attendees, about 200 unique individuals. So if you attended a class, you may have attended 30 times between March and June. So that many individuals or moments of class attendance. So we're all probably a little zoomed out, but I think we do have to brace for continued Zoom in the year ahead. So most of our classes continued, and we added a virtual lunch speaker series, which continues to this date. We've had about 20 presenters now who present on different topics, and that's been sort of a silver lining of the pandemic here. As far as the year ahead, so we, the strategic planning committee that Huitsu was mentioning, we came up with a framework for a strategic plan focused on 3 areas for like the next 3 years. One of which is space and place, which essentially is making sure this beautiful house is maintained and a place where we can all gather and have events when we can do that again. So our goal for this year ahead is to, many of you know that we've had some capital improvement projects that have been in the works, in the design and planning and discussion phase for quite some time. And we have some draft timelines now to actually start and complete phase 1 of that work, anticipated for the spring of 2021. So we're going to wait and share the details until we really have some firm timelines. But hopefully in the next 1 to 2 months, we'll be able to share more, and happy to have another meeting to fill people in on those details. But we hope during this year with COVID to be able to do some needed capital improvement projects on the house. We anticipate most activities this year will continue virtually on Zoom to the best of our ability. And then we're going to plan to look into getting a tent for the back parking lot for May and June for the end of the year, and see if we can, we assume the COVID stuff might just be as it is now, hopefully a little better than it is in Rhode Island in this moment. But we'll anticipate outdoor activities as being the best thing to do. So we're going to look into that for the spring, summer. The second objective in the strategic plan is engagement and learning. And what we're going to focus on this year is really just continuing the best we can with our Zoom activities. So we'll continue to offer our classes, or anything that makes sense to do online, we'll continue with. We're experimenting with some new offerings. There's been a yoga class that's a student has offered, a meditation class, a writing class for the students, a book club has started for international students. So any ideas that you have, or if you want to start something at the International House this year, please reach out, and hopefully we'll experiment with some new offerings, and we'll continue the virtual speakers and events. And the last area in our strategic plan is community and outreach. And one of the things that we're looking to do this year is, many of you know and may have gotten involved with International House through our friendship program, which was really very, very active, as I've talked to many members in the years past. And it's a little bit more challenging to do these days. And we've talked to some of the universities, and we have a small group that's put together to look at whether we can relaunch it in a sort of a different derivation. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to get involved in that planning group, please reach out to me, and we'd love to get your involvement. And then the other main focus areas for us is, so much of the way people find International House is they walk in the doors of International House. And you can't do that today. So one of our goals for this year is to enhance our ability to reach, especially international visitors who may be arriving during this incredibly uncertain time, who could benefit from what we're doing online. So improving our website and trying to expand some partnerships so that we can continue to do the work that we do during this kind of challenging time. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That's a brief update. With this big a group, I'd love to discuss any of the aspects more, whether it's the building, our finances, or anything else. I'm happy to discuss that in more detail with you personally, or at another time. So now I'm going to pass it over to Susan, who on behalf of all the teachers and tutors is going to introduce some of the students from her group. So Susan, you're up.
Okay, so on behalf of all the other teachers who've been there since, at least since I've been there teaching English since last December, instead of a slideshow, instead of putting together a slideshow, we brought some of the students in live to tell you a little bit about what we do in our classes and how they feel about the classes in International House. Leo, who sort of broke into the residential, he did put in the chat box that he had to leave the meeting early, and he apologizes for interrupting. He was going to be one of the speakers now, but he interrupted so that he could get in what it was he wanted to say. I think we're going to start with Serena.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Sana. Hello, everyone. I'm Serena Li. I'm from China. And I have been taking this English class at International House since this year, June. And I really enjoy learn English here and meeting new friends here, learn English here. And I love the style of the teacher, the way, because they really make you learn English relaxed and with low pressure. So it makes me more interesting for learn English here. They also help us to, ask your opinion and make you feel you are an important part of the school. So I'm glad to find international house here, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, I meet a lot of awesome teacher. Like I can't have many times, so everyone teaches. So I choose few teachers for my class, for my learn English. I really appreciate have you guys. Thank you, and very nice to meet you, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks, Serena. And Pollyanna, are you here? Pollyanna, make it tonight? Okay, Wei, you're up again.
Hi, I'm Hui again. Yeah. Like Alex and Leo mentioned that sometimes we hold class outside, and one time we read one of H.P. Lovecraft's poems in front of his grave in Swan Point Cemetery. For me, it is a very poetic way to learn and know a poet. I also learned that in Western culture, people are not afraid of to go to the cemetery for a casual activity. I enjoy the fact that we can always bring what we have learned from the class into our life and connect to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Wei. Ala, you're up.
Hello, I am Ala. I'm from Latvia. I have been attending International House for 6 years, and I think that 6 years of devoted love, it means for me that International House is my family. For this long period, we students met many wonderful teachers, and unfortunately we lost some of them, lost forever. I want to say with great sadness about to remind the teachers. And about this year, I would like to remember one of the outstanding event for International House. For me, it was an hour of poetry composed by foreign students. I admire my teachers' ability to offer, insist, pursue, encourage everyone to write several poetic lines in English, the language which students don't speak every day maybe. And I am, of course, grateful to the teachers of International House for their care and attention to students. And thank you, everybody, for your love to us.
Thanks, Ala. Andrea, did you want to speak?
Yes. Hello, my name is Andrea Ramos. I'm from Colombia. I have been here in International House for 1 month. And during this time, I really like that all of the teachers love what they're doing here and the way they share the knowledge, because they don't make you feel that you are in a regular English class, although they make you feel that you're part of a family. One of the things I enjoy doing here is discussing the hilarious short stories Natalie tells us every week related to the grammar concepts, also the different topics we talk about with John, and the many activities with Susan, like poems or performances of stories that make learning English a lot of fun. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Andrea. And now we have Lauren, who has come here as an intern, and she's been certified as an ESL teacher. So she co-teaches with me and helps me out a lot in my class. Lauren, did you want to speak?
Absolutely, I would love to. You know, I think Ala, Andrea, Serena, Leo, Hui, they all have said it better than I possibly could. We are a family here at International House, and I was so pleasantly surprised by how quickly and lovingly I was accepted into Susan's class. She is an incredible mentor. I could sing her praises for hours, but I won't. She'd be embarrassed. And it's just such a wonderful experience. I love being here. I learn from the students, I feel like, as much as they learn from Susan and hopefully me. But it is such a great time. It is, I said this earlier in the breakout rooms, it is 90 minutes twice a week where I feel like I'm surrounded by family, and it is just so, so wonderful. And I'm so grateful for the International House and for their acceptance, their love. It has changed a lot for me.
That's very sweet. I think all of the teachers feel the same way about the students that the students feel about International House. I think that's who we have, because Leo already spoke, and there were half a dozen or so that couldn't make it tonight. So
Great.
turn it back to Alex.
Yeah, and thank you, Susan. Thank you to everyone all the students who spoke. And we recently started a Spanish conversation club, and I joined it because I'm hoping to improve my Spanish, and it's really hard to speak, as many of you know who speak another language, and I've tried for many years, and so I just hats off to all the students who presented in English, especially those who are newer to it. So thank you in this setting. All right, so we're almost at the close of our program, and before we finish, we just want to say a few more things, and I really could go around the room and highlight, I think, almost every single person that I'm looking on 2 Zoom screens, and thank you for what you've done. And so I want to say that, first of all, and I do want to highlight, and I apologize if I'm embarrassing, 2 people, because they're crucial with Billy Mason is here, and Billy and Gil founded the International House in 1963. And this is maybe for the students as much as everybody else. Many people know that, but some people might not, especially the students. And Billy and Gil have been just an incredible resource and a place, really have been a stand for the international community and people feeling welcomed when they come to the United States of America, and people feeling welcome when they come to Rhode Island, and having a place where people will reach out and welcome you. And that's how International House started, and the spirit of what they bring continues to this day. And I also want to just recognize and thank Dottie McCulloch, who's also here, as a long-time member and supporter. And it was through Dottie's, Dottie got involved, as I understand it, maybe in the late 70s. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dottie, and early 80s. But she was instrumental in the International House being able to purchase the actual house that we have. So for all the students who call us a home away from home, it was really, thanks to Dottie and some of the other people at that time who were able to raise the money to build the building, to buy the building, and really make what International House is today happen. So I want to recognize you too, Dottie, and Dottie, Billy, and Gil as long-term, the sustainers of what the International House is. So with that, just want to thank everyone. In a moment, I'm going to pass over to Joe Scott to take us out with a song. And before I do, just thank everyone for being here. We are going to use this time now. We don't do fundraising campaigns through the year, but the end of year we do. So just wanted to let everyone know we're going to send out a letter, and we appreciate your support this year. It's a challenging year for a lot of nonprofits. So if you are able to, if you're supporting organizations and you're able to do that, and what we do speaks to you, please contribute to us in this year-end campaign. If you know friends or others who would benefit from us, please spread the word. We certainly appreciate your financial support as we go to the end of the year. This is our main fundraising time for us. All right, so with that, I will pass it over to Joe, and I'll just say a word that Joe has been so many different things for the International House, but two things that he did over the last year was to write a poem for the International House and create a song for the International House. So I will put the words up, and Joe, I'll pass it over to you. Joe, will you actually speak to the puzzle while I get the song up on the screen? Joe, you're muted, Joe.
Ina's background is the puzzle with occasional green flashes, but she's got the puzzle there. And this particular texture was crocheted, knitted by Ina's mother. So it becomes a family heirloom along with the celebration of the textures of the International House.
It's actually needlepoint by David's mother, but pretty close.
Needlepoint by David's mother,
Yeah,
anyhow. Right. And then there's the hallucinatory upward look into the staircase of the International House, along with the marble, the stained glass windows, the steps, the entryway. And it's a wonderful Christmas present, of course, and a modest fundraiser. The song exists because I got into conversation with Billy Mason, and Billy said that we didn't have a song. And I started thinking about Lili Marlene, and the song is coming up. You don't have to sing it. That's the beauty of it. But I can lead you through it. If you crank it up just a pinch, you'll see the third verse, and I don't have to worry about singing it very slowly because the words are in front of you. There it is. There it is. It's all there. Now, ending meetings on Zoom is always awkward. People hate to leave. But Alex thought, if you listen to the song, you carry the song away in your head, in your heart, and he pulled the plug right after that. You can just go on singing, okay?
Alex,
home away from home. Yeah.
Alex,
Joe,
are you going to unmute everyone?
Yeah. Well, we're not because it's going to be too loud with everyone singing, maybe.
We think it'll go crazy. You have to sing on your own. Now, we can try it though, but I want everyone, so after the song is done, we're going to just X out the meeting. So we go out in a bang like that. So if you do, maybe Joe, before you start, if anyone wants to say something for 30 seconds, say hello, say bye, and then we'll get right into it. And then the puzzle includes, here in this house, we met and cared, we laughed and sang, we ate, we shared, a home away from home, our home away from home. The refrain is actually part of the puzzle. So it's all connected up somehow with, Ina's husband's mother and right? All that stuff. Okay, and I will deliver it to you, sung very slowly so you can appreciate the words. The tune is Lili Marlene, the classic tune captured in World War II from the Germans by the British, taken to the French and adopted by the Americans. You'll probably recognize the tune if you've never heard these words before, and you've never heard these words before. Evermore hereafter, we will all recall how the sound of laughter filled every room and hall. Here in this house we met and cared, we laughed and sang, we ate, we shared, a home away from home, our home away from home. In a house proclaiming international, a mission of extending a welcome here to all. Here in this house we met and cared, we laughed and sang, we ate, we shared, a home away from home, our home away from home. It's no small ambition, do a world of good, helping one another to be understood. Here in this house we met and cared, we laughed and sang, we ate, we shared, a home away from home, our home away from home.
Our home away from home.
That's it. It should be stuck in your head now.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Alex. Goodbye.
Thank you.